Good morning, students of class 10th. In the previous video we have discussed about that what is nationalism and what was the general idea of nationalism. Now in today's video we are going to discuss that what was the situation in France and how France was moved from from a monarchy to a democracy, how their political system moved. Okay, so first let us understand what was the situation of France, which led to the shift of political system from a monarchy to a democracy. Right, first of all there was a monarchy and then it changed into a democracy. How does this thing happen? See, first of all, let us discuss what is a monarchy and what is a democracy. Monarchy is a system in which there is king's rule, that first of all a person will be a king, then his son will become the ruler of that place, then after him his son, right? That is the monarchy system or the king's rule. And the other system is known as democracy, in which there is people's rule. Okay, now we will understand that how France changed its system from a full-fledged monarchy to a democracy. First of all, let us understand that what were the conditions in France. Right. See, there were many exploitations done on the common businessmen in France, for which first of all they revolted. And how was the system in the French society at that time? Let us have a brief discussion of that. Then we will move forward. Right. Earlier, the French society was divided into three classes. One class was known, the uppermost class was known as the clergy. The middle class was known as nobility, and the third was the class consisting of the remaining citizens. It was either called as third estate or they were called as the remaining citizens only. Okay, they were called as the remaining citizens. Now, the political system in France was like that कि the clergy and nobility were the elite classes. They were the classes in the nobility, in the clergy, they were the people who were the head of the churches. The people who used to own the churches were the part of clergy, and the people who used to work in the churches, or the people who used to work in the government offices, were in the part of nobility. On the third hand, there were remaining citizens. The remaining citizens consisted of businessmen, right? They were the people of the business class and they were consisting of the businessmen. They were the people who were consisting of artisans and peasants, farmers, right? They were the people consisting of the businessmen or the farmers and artisans. So clergy and nobility both were the elite classes, and they were the classes who were free of taxes. They were not imposed of any taxes and they were free of taxes. Clergy and nobility, they were free of taxes. Remaining citizens were the people who were paying the taxes. They were the most burdened class. They were the person who used to pay the taxes. So remaining citizens were burdened by them, by the clergy and the nobility. Right. So I think you had a brief structure in your mind that how the French society was divided. And the king there at that time was Louis XVI. His name was Louis XVI. And if you want to know more about the French Revolution, you can go in the videos, and for class ninth you can see, because in class ninth French Revolution is only going on right now. Okay, so moving forward, the situation prevailed which led to large scale resentment and can be summarized as follows. First of all, it is written that there was heavy tax on people. There was heavy tax on people. The people of France were heavily taxed by the King Louis XVI, because When Louis XVI ascended the throne, he sat on the throne. The countries were in a war. France was in war with Britain, and as they were in war with Britain, they used to had large expenses for war, right? Because they want to buy guns, they want to buy the ammunitions. So for that you will need money, and the country was on heavy burden of that expense of war. And when Louis XVI said, the country was not in a good financial condition. So they used to charge high taxes. And just now, as I have said, that clergy and nobility were free of taxes. Only remaining citizens consisting of the businessmen or the artisans and peasants were the person who were paying taxes. Right? So heavy taxes on people. It is written, on the whole, the social and financial picture of France was dismal. Due to the financial burden of the many wars, most of the people were required to pay heavy taxes which they could not afford. The peasants paid taxes to the king called taille, taxes on the churches and numerous indirect taxes on wine, salt and bread. More so, the peasants also owed their landlord a labor obligation. While the rent and cost of living were increasing at a rapid pace, the income remained low and the taxes were very high. Right. Next was unrest among burgesses. Right. Next point, it is written in your book. It is unrest among burgesses. Burgossie. Bourgeois. Let me write the correct spelling. Among Burgeois. Goisie. Burgosses, right? Who were Burgosses? Let us discuss first of all that. The Burgosses were basically the businessmen. They were the businessmen. In French society, businessmen were called as Burgosses, right? So, the Burgosses had numerous grievances which they wished were addressed. They wanted all church, army, and government position open to the man of talent and merit, right? Earlier, in the government offices of the king, whether it was army or other government offices, there was pure monarchy. Pure monarchy means that a person, if he is a son of an officer, then only he can participate in army. If a person is a son of a priest, then only he can become a priest. A new entry of priest was not allowed at that time, right? So these were the reasons that there was unrest among Burgosses, because the businessmen wanted equal opportunities for all. They wanted equal opportunities, and that was the reason that why there was unrest among the Burgosses, unrest among the businessmen. They wanted all the church, army, and government position open to men of talent and merit. They sought a parliament that would make all the laws for the nation. They desired a constitution that would limit the king's power. They also wanted a constitution that should limit the king's power. They wanted a written constitution. For Louis XVI, they wanted that the absolute monarchy in the state should end, and there should be a constitution which also limits the power to the power of the king. They also desire fair trials, religious tolerance, and administrative reforms. Right now, I hope you must have understood that what was the condition of people because they were heavy taxed, and what was the reason for unrest among the Burgosses, because they demanded equal rights. Right, they wanted that there should be equal opportunities for them, whether it is in churches, in army, or in government offices, right? And increasing social inequality. There was increasing social inequality in the society, in the French society. Right. How was that? Let us study. The concept of the three estates in French society were distinct in their character. The first two estates had the riches and powerful and were exploiting the third estate. The urban workers or artisans, factory workers, and wage earners of the urban poor also lived in poverty. A poverty that reached extreme situation in 1789. By that time, wages had increased by nearly one third of the increased cost of living. Only the first two estates were able to sustain the inflation, and the poor were becoming poorer and poorer. The majority of the population was thus crushed under the burden of taxes, indiscriminate laws, poverty, extortion, and slavery. This was one of the most important social cause of simmering unrest which led to the famous French Revolution in 1789. Now, just now I have told you that how the French society was divided into three states: the clergy, nobility, and the remaining citizens. Clergy was the people who used to govern the churches. Nobility were the people who were working in the churches and who were working in armies or social or government offices, right? So they were the people who were free of taxes, and the remaining citizens who were very poor were burdened of taxes. They were the person paying the taxes, and they were the person who were free of taxes. So the social unrest, the social inequality between the people increased, and it increased in such a way that a revolution took place, and which was known as the French Revolution, right? Which was known as the French Revolution. Okay. And in the French Revolution only, and it was started in 1789, you should remember the year also. And it was French Revolution only in which it was further acknowledged that what are the fundamental rights of the people. Even if you will see our constitution, the constitution of India, it says that there should be right to equality, there should be right to fraternity, right, there should be right to freedom of expression. These all terms are taken in the constitution of India from this French Revolution only. Okay. So students, I hope you would have understood that what were the condition of the France society and what were the reasons for the French Revolution. Now in the next video, we will study about what were the reforms done, how the revolution took place. Okay. Till then, stay at your home and stay safe. Thank you.